welcome to another episode of Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. Y'all know what night it is. It is Thursday night. So you already know Miss Risky is in the house. You already seen what the show gonna be about tonight. The NFL started tonight. Then Greg Abbott and that foolishness. We'll talk about that. Ted Cruz and Tom Cotton. Um, and It's a lot of stories we're gonna hit on tonight. So let's welcome Miss Risky to the show. Miss Risky, how you doing today?
I'm well, and how are you?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Man, how was your week? It was short.
Yeah, it was short. I have no idea what day of the week I'm in. I don't know if I need to go in tomorrow. I'm just all the way confused.
Yeah, I was kind of jacked up because I got that alert yesterday saying you have a appointment tomorrow at Culture Nail Bar. I'm like, today is Tuesday. I'm like, no, it's Wednesday, so I got to go tomorrow. So I
Mhm.
did go. Shout out to Culture Nail Bar, always taking care of my feet and saving sheets.
Mhm.
um, Man, so we have a lot going on tonight. Um, One of the biggest thing, well, I seen it a while ago. I don't know if you took time to go and take a look at the NFL. It started tonight, and what the NFL starting, it was mm, I'm gonna just say this: out of all those players out there, only one player took a knee. Now that was on on the Kansas side. I believe it was number 57. I didn't get a chance to look him up to see what his name is, but I appreciate the brother for taking a stand because it's a lot to take a stand because some people you have to take a stand for something and to be able to um, take a stand on a platform like that, um, I support you. Number 57 for Kansas. Now, y'all can live chat with us in the chat room also. Um, but then my wife was like, "Where's Texas?"
Mhm.
I said, "I don't know. Did they show up?" No, they decided to stay in the locker room.
Ah.
So the Texas team did not come out at all. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Not even a
So,
wave?
not
Nothing.
even a wave. Texas decided to stay in the locker room. Now, also, um, the announcer, he said, we're going to take a moment of silence for what's going on in the world. Um, and you could hear some people in the audience cheering. You could hear some people booing. And before all the players locked arms together, it was over. I think that's really a weak showing of togetherness. Um, I feel like the players should take a stand because the only way change is gonna happen, you all have to be on one accord. You all have to um, take a stand. Say, look, we need to spotlight this. That's why I said I'm. Jerry Jones keep talking about grace, but you have to give those players the opportunity to take a knee. However they feel they should protest, they should be able to do it and they all need to come on one accord. Look how the NBA did it. They all did it. They all came together and agreed upon it. So yes, they all should have uh, took a stand and go from there. Because my wife had called me in the room earlier. She was like, "Hey, baby, it's already starting." It was before 7. That's when Kansas lined up, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, now this cannot be the start of the game." That was like at 6:55, but that was the pregame. But the thing is, they didn't all come together and agree on what all of them was going to do. And out of all those players out there, only one took a stand. Only one. Number 57 for Kansas. And I'm looking for his jersey because I'm going to go get it. I
And,
will support
to be
him.
fair, not everybody, is expected to support the movement because maybe they don't believe in it, and you can't, just because they're on the same team, expect them to take a knee because, they're obligated. Like, I wouldn't want anybody out there taking a knee just because they feel obligated. I want them to actually believe in it. And, when you're talking about an organization like that, it's hard to have a team unity when you have millions of dollars. Like, it's a corporation. They're like cattle. You do what the money says. And, there's a lone wolf in there. And so maybe they were like, all right, we'll just have a person represent us and we lock arms. You know what I mean? So it's like maybe that was the agreement to where it's not off-putting to someone who may not necessarily be on board.
Exactly. Well, I just feel that it should be, and you're right, everybody not going to be on board of it. And if you don't have it in your heart, don't do it. Don't do it. But don't let some of these owners make threats to you
Well, I mean,
to
again,
prevent you from
they're
doing it.
making millions of dollars because of the owners. So, yeah, listen, that man with gave you your $1 million and he could take it back. So, like, you got to respect the hand that's feeding you and giving you your mansion and your luxury cars and your yachts
And
and
giving you
your
the
half
stripper
naked
dollars.
women, right? Getting you in and out of jail or out of jail. Like, come on, you don't want to make too many waves.
Well,
Just
you're
enough,
right.
but it's like you represent, a small part of a bigger organization.
You're right. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. But during this time in America, with all the racism going on, at some point, and I say it all the time, if people actually decided to take a stand, if they come on one accord, they won't be able to get rid of all of you.
Right.
And
But it's still going to be, I mean, we can't even get ourselves together. Like, you know how hard it is to mobilize as a unit, and we're fighting for the same thing, and we can't even get on same. How are we expecting an organization like that with millions of dollars to show some unity, and we can't get it together?
well, also we got to look at it. I, I'm torn on it. I'm like, hey, I'm glad the piece that Alicia Keys did. It was nice. I can't have everything I want because I was like, hey, she did good. I'm not taking nothing from her. But I was like,
Did she get her voice back?
well, I said personally. Now maybe because I'm in Texas here in the DF Dub, I was like, baby, they should have had Kurt version because Kurt did it up. Maybe that's just me. But also when people talk about kneeling and protesting have something to do with the flag, and when I heard the boos from the audience. So you don't give a damn about what's going on in this world.
They don't.
So
And again, it's probably like a group mentality, that mob mentality. One person shows out, oh, well, let's all show out. And they may not really believe in, they're just putting on airs just so they won't feel left out. Because, it's a big battle. It's a big battle. And you don't want to be that lone wolf because it's like what is it in Planet of the Apes? One stick is fragile, and then like you get a bunch of sticks, you're strong together. But we can't even get it together because we still think we're alone in this fight. And
exactly.
you don't want to be out in the crowd because and not stand for the national anthem or or whatever, thinking that you're gonna end up getting attacked from a mob who may not agree with you. Because nobody understands, you have the right to do what you feel is right for you, They don't believe in that. And so you got to kind of test the waters and see where everybody's at.
And the player for Kansas City that did kneel, Breland Speaks. Breland Speaks. Hey, I appreciate you, brother, for taking a stand. I really do.
He was probably the one back in the back that drew the short straw. They're like, we just have one. One of you is going to do it. The rest of us ain't. Who's going to do it?
We have T-Cal that came in the building. She's a longtime listener. Talking about, oh, look at this shirt. I want one. I'm sorry, I didn't even talk about the shirt back there. We still have the shirt. Speak on it with Who You With, Kurt Dog. They are $25 each. And if you look up above Risky, you can see it in the display back there. We're gonna try to give away a shirt again tonight. We've been having issues trying to give one away. So we're gonna try to give one away tonight. Don't know how just yet.
It's gonna be a math question.
2 plus 2. No, that's not the question.
Minus parentheses.
So I'm glad for Breland Speaks to take a stand on that. I'm actually gonna research tomorrow, see if I can get one of his jersey, because I will support him. I'm a Cowboy fan.
Traitor.
But as long as
did
Jerry,
I say that out loud?
You did.
Sometimes that Tourette's, I get confused with what's in my head.
No, I'm supporting him for the simple fact that he took a stand.
Yeah, I know. I don't even watch the sport, so I'm just like messing with you.
I haven't been watching it since they did Cap the way they did. But I appreciate the brother for taking a stand and standing up for what he feels that is right. So we're gonna leave Kansas and come on back to Texas. We're gonna come on back to Texas to our governor.
Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
You said it again. You said it out loud again.
It was in the comments, and it just stuck in my head.
It was in a comment. It was.
And I was like, did they really go there?
It was in a comment of the foolishness he gave at the conference today.
Yeah, what does he say? He introduced the legislation that could strip money from cities.
I got thrown off by a comment that came in on Twitch, so I'm not gonna even do it till I want to become famous.
Oh,
by followers.
That's what the Kardashians did today, and then she made that video with Ray J, and then it just popped off.
I got my last $2.
Until next week.
So Go ahead. What you were saying, Risky. I'm sorry.
No, it's just seeing if that was the story you were going to talk about.
Yeah,
His response to defunding the police.
yeah. That's fine. Hey, and the person that put that message up on Twitch, hey, share it with a friend. Let them know that we are live. And we do read your comments, so definitely share it with a friend. Like the page, follow, get alerts when we come on live. Um, so Governor Greg Abbott, he want to start a campaign, want people to sign the Back the Blue pledge. Now, I feel funny about this for the simple fact he's the governor. He's trying to push this to people that support him. But I feel like because you want to do this and you want to, it was a story came out. He want to take over Austin because they police department defunded the police. First of all, defunding does not mean to shut the police department down.
Right.
And that's the narrative that he tried to portray. He talk about that, talk about defunding the police, gonna make us less safe, crime's gonna come into our area. And in this, I don't even like to call it a news conference, but in this mess that he did today, everybody who he had speak talked about it's going to bring more crimes to the area. It's going to do this. It's going to bring all these things going to happen. Basically, they doing just like Trump and trying to scare people to sign these things. But Greg Abbott, I see it like this. Let us decide. Put it on the ballot. Let us vote if we want to defund the police or not. That's how you get it solved. Don't make the decision for everybody by using the folks that follows you. Let the people decide.
Exactly. Because all it is, and I think that's where people are getting confused on what that means. It's just reducing the budget. I mean, there are lots of organizations, especially education, where they run a tight ship. Like a lot of
Exactly.
teachers are running, there are like not enough books. And like now with the virtual learning, there's not enough computers, not enough electronic devices for the students to, do their courses. And and that's all it means. It's just, a lot of the resources are going to be, you know, limited, and it's going to be on an as need basis. Like now they're going to have to figure out, well, I guess we don't really need Officer Joe Blow to do 13 hours of overtime, and when we have somebody else to cover for them, save money on overtime. And it's going to suck probably for the officers who aren't, getting paid enough in certain areas, but that they're just going to have to scale back on a lot of things that they're used to doing, and a lot of extra equipment that, high tech equipment to help them, or like maybe a tank for, an area, even though it's not really necessary, but, eh, these are things they're just going to have to budget for and, pinch their pennies and be like, all right, do we really need all these things, or do we just pay for man hours?
Well, I'm gonna hit on two things real quick. First of all, some of that money that is going from the police department, let's pay the teachers better money. Here it is, teachers are having to buy school supplies out of their pockets. Now they
Sometimes
concerned
snacks for the students.
sometimes snacks, and depends on what school you
Yeah.
in. You may even have to help provide lunches for some of these students, or in some cases, provide shoes and clothes for them. But at the same time, you expect the child to be able to learn in a class hungry. You
with
expect
limited
a child.
resources.
Exactly. So it's not defunding the police, it's putting money where it can be used then. And then on top of that, this really uh, upset me the other day. Utah, where a mother called the police because her son, um, I want to say, he had Down syndrome and
I think it was some form of autism.
autistic,
Yeah.
autistic. So called the police, and she said he'd need to go to the hospital to get medication. Now, let me explain something because I'm diverse. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Now, with this young boy, 13 years old, the police got there. He took off running. Police shot him. And it was a young Caucasian boy. That's wrong.
On so many levels.
That's wrong. That's why we talk about defunding the police, because when the mother called and said she need help because her son need to go to the hospital to get some medication, that's where defunding come in at,
Where
and
they're
that's
using their
where
resources unnecessarily.
exactly.
Like they are just like wasting bullets like it's going out of style. Like you have all these other tools on your belt. Literally all these tools on your belt. And, I understand it's split second, decisions you have to make. But a kid that wasn't called because he was a threat to anyone. There was no crime being committed. He just took off running.
He was running.
That's it. And your natural tendency shoot to kill.
And the problem I have with that, the mother, because watching the news video that she was doing, she said it happened shortly after the police got there. Once he seen the police, he took off running. The officer said, "Stop, stop, pow, pow, pow," because his ass did not want to chase that child. Where is he gonna go?
And then he also didn't understand fully the situation. But again,
Exactly.
he was not armed. He didn't pose a threat to anyone. Who cared he ran? All right, he'll come back, right?
But then again, Greg Abbott, he trying to get people to sign this pledge
So
to
he can
back
have
the
more
blue.
bullets and more tanks to threaten people and, push, flex more. It's like, no, you're going to work with what you're given. And now you're going to have to think about when you're going to, use bullets as opposed to a taser or mace or your little billy club. I think that's what it's called. What are those things called?
Do they even carry clubs?
No,
No,
yeah, they have
they
like
don't
some
carry.
little
They
wand.
don't carry the bitty clubs no more.
Yeah, I
But
don't know
they
what
had
they
that
call them. It's a
metal
metal thing.
wand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
had
know
that
what they
metal
call it,
wand.
but I just
It,
dated myself. It's like walking around. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
yeah, if you take that metal wand and you
Yeah,
do it like this, it
it
pop
gets
out.
longer. Yeah,
Then they'll beat them with it. So,
yeah. I
and that's
took out my
wrong too.
sister's one time. I thought I broke it. I was like, uh-oh. It's like, it's not going back. And she's like, girl, you gotta beat it.
Now, um, man, I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you what you were sipping on tonight.
Oh, the last of my apothic inferno wine.
Hmm.
This is it. Last little corner. I gotta ration it.
I'm hanging out
I
with
need
my homeboy.
sponsors. I need sponsors, apothic. It'll assist up.
I'm
I like
hanging
all
out
the
with
apothec's, but you know.
hanging out with my homeboy again. Peach Paul, my son, and I did something different. I put some cranapple
Mhm.
juice in there, so it actually gave it a good flavor. Now my bartender, she was doing
Was she
something else.
heavy-handed again?
No, I made it myself this
Oh.
time. I was like, okay. Um, so I did it with a peach parmesan and cranapple. Um,
I'm gonna before our show go over there one day, just knock on the door. Can I borrow a cup of liquor? And have Tracy make me a cup of something and then come back home.
we actually, believe it or not, we still have liquor for when we came back from our honeymoon. We don't drink all that much, but we
That would have been gone in our case.
occasionally.
Would have been gone,
Um,
long gone,
I
in
want to
like
say
maybe a month, if that.
can't say it too loud because I know somebody be coming up. Hey, uh, on Sunday. Hey, liquor store closed today. Can I get some communion?
No, I had one of my great uncles, old school. Like he lived in the South Dallas area, I think. He would come over, visit, and he literally drove out with a glass of wine out the car window, just driving, drink up his wine, come to our place, and ask for more wine, and then take off again with his glass out the window. And I was like, nobody stopped you. You know you
Well,
can't drink and drive, old man.
first of all, the liquor is not in the car. So he probably have a story for it.
No,
Might be like,
it's in
hey,
a wine glass. He had a wine glass.
I used to do that back in the days when I drunk. Used to drink
Like,
Zinfandel
yeah,
a
but
lot.
still, no open containers, and you certainly can't be sipping and driving.
I got that from one of my cousins. We used to hang out quite a bit during that time, and he drank wine all the time. So we used to take low road trips, and um, from Dallas to Shreveport, that was a long trip. For the simple fact, about every 50 or 60 miles, we had to stop and get some more ice because he would pack this small cooler,
Hmm.
and we have to stop and get ice because he's sipping, and well, we're sipping, and we like, hey, we're out of ice. We need to get some more ice for the wine, so we'll do it. But that's when I used to drink a lot of wine. Um, Now, I don't know. I kind of like Paul. I have some Uncle I haven't popped open yet. You got to be easy with Uncle because
I don't know any of those.
put it like this. One of my partners, he was like, man, we met up, haven't talked in a while. Went to a happy hour, and before COVID, and he was like, man, you got to try this drink. He was like, but just sip it, don't drink it too strong. So he ordered Uncle Nearest, and we had a Sprite chaser. I sipped it. I'm like, okay, smooth. But I was like, and so poured the Sprite in there, and I'm like, I'm good. I drank it like I normally drink, and I was cool until I had to go to the restroom. I stood up, and it was like, whoa, gotta respect that drink. So I was like, all right, I'm good. But it's a smooth whiskey. Actually, the family that um, the original Jack Daniels, the brother who made that allegedly Jack Daniels stole this recipe. Um, his family came out with that version of Uncle Nearest, and it's a real smooth liquor. So definitely, if you never tried it, try it. Um, it's real good. It's real good. So, but here come the circus in town. So we're gonna talk about Ted Cruz and Tom Cotton. If you're from Texas, you know who Ted Cruz is. Tom Cotton, I had to pull him up. He's a 43-year-old senator from Arkansas. They made the short list for Donald Trump Supreme Court. I believe it's 20 people on the short list. Now, take it. Ted Cruz is from Texas. That's why Greg Abbott does everything Donald Trump wants. Ted try to follow in his footstep. And this is a setup. It's a setup. I'm going to tell you why I feel like it's a setup. Now, this is my opinion. I feel like Trump knows he's getting ready to get kicked out of office. Once he's removed from office, he knows he's going to go to prison. He's going to fight it. It's probably going to go to the Supreme Court. And if you got your homeboys on the Supreme Court, it's not going to go anywhere. So pay close attention to this. I feel like all his power should be stripped right about now, because he knows he's finna lose this race. I don't care who you vote for. We just need to get him out of office. He's already said he downplayed the COVID-19. He knew it was bad, but he downplayed it. Did 18 interviews with Bob somebody.
But do you really believe that, though? That he downplayed it, like purposely downplayed it?
Hell no. He didn't read it. He didn't pay no attention to it. And even though they telling him, he talking about
it sounds made up.
It's fake news. It's fake news. It's the Democrat doing it. It's fake news. No, it's not fake news.
No, it's actually a virus going around, sir.
But it took 18 interviews. And not only that, well, in a sense, I'm going to say he probably did. He probably did, though. I hate to agree with him. Damn, that hurt. I hate to agree with him, but I'm going to say he probably did, for the simple fact he did say in an interview that he knew this virus was deadly. And he did admit he didn't take it serious. That's what he admitted in the interview. So I'm going to say he did take it serious. He didn't take it serious. He downplayed it, but he should have man up and admit that he made a mistake by firing that team once he got in office. And now we have, what, almost 200,000 lives lost? Over 1 million of Americans have caught this virus. And now you want to, because you know the guy's getting ready to come out with a book. Now you want to say, I downplayed it. I downplayed it. No. You was too high on that horse and didn't want to pay attention. You were more concerned about the people that support you. And a lot of this
popular.
Exactly. A lot of this stuff could have been prevented. All these incidents with the Karens coming around, the incidents where the protests going around, where y'all align armed folks coming into government buildings, demanding for people to open the business back up, open the city back up. All of that could have been prevented if you done one thing. warn everybody that this virus is real. But you don't have enough balls to stand up and say, you know what? This is a serious virus. We need to take this serious, and still you didn't want to listen to the doctors, the professionals that knows this. And when it all said and done at the end of the day, guess what? It's on your watch. It's on your watch because you are held accountable for everything. You are the leader and you didn't lead. It's your watch. You have to take responsibility for it. And the best way I'm going to show you taking responsibility come November the 3rd, I'm going to cast my vote.
I'll be there in October. I'll be doing my early voting. Yeah.
I'm going to cast my vote, and hopefully we're going to get you out of office. Everybody, I know we probably have some new listeners because we're not only normally we just broadcast on my personal page, but now we're on the Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog page. So I know we're getting listeners on both end and also the other platforms that we on, YouTube, Twitch. Damn, we have so many. Periscope. Then and it also broadcasts on Twitter. Then we on a couple other. I signed up for a couple other platforms, so we're gonna be going out on more platform. You can live chat with us in the chat also. If you have a comment, a statement you want to make, hey, put it in the chat. We will read it. Long as you're not like Depolarize 13, we will put it in the chat and let your voice be heard. That's what the platform was built for. So I don't know. Trump, I sure hope he's already packing.
No, he's gonna listen. It's gonna take a whole team to get him out. He's gonna be like one of those women who refuses to leave the house during the divorce. It's like, no, it's over. Like U-Haul is out front. She ain't leaving. Like they're gonna have to get him out by force because I guarantee you he's gonna camp out and pout and do everything in his power to stay there.
Well, he definitely have to go. His time is up. He don't have to go home.
But he can't stay here.
But he gotta get the hell up out the White House. And so as for me and my household, we would not be voting for Trump. But we would also gonna hold Harris and Biden and Harris accountable. Those are the best ones that had the best opportunity of beating Trump. You can vote for whoever you want to, but I think if we have to deal with another 4 years of this mess, it's not going to go good. I don't think we can survive another 4 years of this. Right now, I'm going to let you talk about it. Right now, we've been in this pandemic for how long? 6 months?
10
since
years.
we've been locked down.
10
Since
years.
we've been locked down. Because
like it.
in reality, I think they said some of us could have had it back in November or December.
Last year, yeah.
And
'cause I'm almost positive my coworkers and I had some form of it because I went to my doctor's and he was like, well, it's not an infection. And he was like, the fact that you're like ODing on vitamin C is reason why you're not. Yeah, he was like, that's what's saving you because you should be worse, but I don't know what it is. So I'm not going to give you antibiotics because there's no infection. So just do what you do and, call me in the morning.
exactly.
Like it was just like a weird thing because I was like, every fall I get my usual sinus issues, allergies, whatever. But this was different. Like I lost my voice. Like my throat was just on fire. My chest was. It just wasn't right. But
Well,
I think it could have been worse if I hadn't done my vitamin C. I'm all for that. Like I take vitamin C 1,000 was it micrograms daily.
I take two a day. Then I take my multiple vitamins, and I also take uh, fish oil because
My sister's
it
obsessed with that. I
it
don't
have
even know
it,
what that is.
fish oil actually have benefits. It's I've been taking it,
I
excuse
may
me,
check it out.
but
Add it
also
to my regimen.
just make sure you get the ones that is not gonna make you burp or have that
Oh Lord, then
aftertaste.
never mind then.
No, no, it'll tell you on the package if it'll make you burp or if it have that fish
All the
taste to
gas.
it.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
can't do that.
So, but it's at check with your doctor first.
Yeah,
Make
check
sure
with your
it's okay.
doctor and take your vitamins because right now, I guess they started a study in July 27th with 30,000 candidates of this AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine trial. And when I tell you, they're rushing through this process. Like it takes years of trial and error to get a vaccine for just anything. Like you can't just whip up something in a basement and just say, "All right, take this." You
Mm.
can't. So now, like they have 30,000 candidates developed by the Moderna and the National Institute of Health. And I guess right now they're on phase 3 and had to shut it down
Mm.
or pause the trials to allow for review of safety data because there was just an unexpected illness. And that's all they say about that. They won't tell us what the illness was. So far, I think they said it's just one person in that whole trial from the UK that had some weird adverse reaction to this vaccine.
Now,
And I guess during this, it's a routine. Once something random happens or an illness pops up that's not in what they're treating for, they shut it down or pause it to do more testing to see if that is related to the vaccine or not.
mm. Now is this the um, vaccine that Russia said they have, or is this something completely different?
I'm thinking this is something totally different because I didn't see Russia on this, but I'm sure there's something else. Because I mean, before with Trump, he was talking about he was taking that what was it? That
Uh,
chlorine, chlorodox, whatever. I don't know, chlorine
yeah.
pool water. He was taking pool water every day, and he was, I don't know what it's called. It was something that sounded like chlorine, but I think it was some form of that because it had zinc or something in it. Um, but yeah, they're going again. They're trying to rush this process of testing and trying to figure out, you know, if the illness is due to the treatment or not. And so they're trying to rush that and see if they could proceed because they don't want to mess up the integrity of the trials. And so, like, if it is a side effect of the trial drug, then they got to go back to the drawing board because,
So you
like,
saying
yeah,
so? Are you saying somebody took the medication now they
listen,
have fingers sticking out their head
listen, they didn't even say.
or what?
I was
Because I'm
thinking like the strain, like all of a sudden they got like little like body parts were falling off and they turned into little lizard people.
or like gremlins.
A
You get them
human
wet,
virus, where
you
it's
get
like
them wet and they multiply.
yeah,
Uh,
listen. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the strain, but it'll change your life. It'll mess you up.
so
And
bottom line is because I know it seemed like coronavirus is not around right now.
oh no, it's still here.
Uh, with schools starting back up, people going back into the office, some of them, some working from home. But this virus is still alive and well. And because we are getting ready to move into the flu season, it's going to be even worse. See, I don't know about y'all, but in Texas, we worrying about the coronavirus, we worrying about the West now, and now we finna worry about the flu.
I know. Isn't that
So,
crazy?
so, and people are still going out like it's nothing.
Yeah,
So we
it's
still,
another day in the park.
exactly, we still need to protect ourselves. Um,
People are getting a little too relaxed. And you
exactly.
see it all the time, and they still gripe, I don't want to wear a mask. I can't breathe in it. Welcome to Texas. Like, just being in the summer heat, you can't breathe in Texas. Like, like you should be used to it by now. But
Yeah, but
it's just, just protect yourself and make sure that you're not exposing yourself uh, to, a deadly virus more than you need to. Like just go out when you need to and then just stay put.
and please wear your mask, because I know it been a couple of times I get ready to get out the vehicle going into a place, and I'm like, whoa, um, I cannot. It been times where I leave the house and I'm like, something, I'm forgetting something. I'm like, oh man, I forgot my mask. So I always keep an extra one in the vehicle, a new one. Keep it in the vehicle where if I do forget it, I can I have one in the car with me, and I can keep on going to do what I need to do and come back home. But people, please take this serious. TCal said, yeah, but you won't breathe if you're dead, because that's what a lot of people say. They say all the time they can't breathe in a mask. Well, guess what? You won't be able to breathe if you're dead.
And those
Now,
coffins are airtight.
exactly, and I actually I was somewhere and somebody made a comment about my mask and open up a dialogue. That's basically what we did, and kind of find out uh, this particular guy work in the medical field, and he was talking about it. He said, "Man, I'm glad you taking this serious, because a lot of people don't." Now, this was a white guy. A lot of people don't take it serious enough about this virus, but I'm glad you taking it serious. I think I had got out the car and forgot it, and I went back and got it, put it on, and he started telling me some of the stories that happened in the hospital. He actually said, when you come into the hospital with COVID-19, if I'm not mistaken, he said the first 3 to 5 days, if they don't see improvement, if they don't see no improvement, what they're gonna do, they're gonna put you on a ventilator. Then they'll give you another 3 to 5 days. They don't see no improvement then. They're gonna make the choice to take you off that ventilator. And guess what? Your family will not have that opportunity to make that choice for you. But he did tell me, he said, look, the best thing you could tell people, if they have the virus, you tell them to make sure they family express to them, do not remove you off that ventilator without your permission, because that could save your life. And the guy was serious about it. Now, this is somebody who's working in a hospital that this came from. And he said, I see it all the time. Some people pass away and they don't have to, because your family is not there to make those decisions. They come in, they give you 3 to 5 days to do better. After that, they put you on a ventilator. give you another 3 to 5 days. If you're not doing good, they remove you off the ventilator, you pass away. That's the routine they take. Now, not sure if that's exactly how it goes, but this is somebody in the medical field. I'm not going to be like Trump and discount it because this is somebody in the medical field that told me this. And I wish I knew the guy's name. And of course, he wouldn't be able to come on here and say it, but that's the story that he gave. He said, I wish people took it serious like you. A lot of them don't take it serious until it hit one of their family members or it hit them. That's when they take it serious. I'm asking y'all, take it serious. Wear your mask, protect yourself at all times. So, TKI came on, said 2,000 people have died. It's real.
100,000.
Yeah, 200,000 people. My bad. I'm reading quick. So that's all I'm asking y'all. Take it serious. This virus is still alive and well, even though it seemed like we back to normal, but we're not. We're not. People are still passing away. When Trump said a month and a half ago, or however long it been, about don't report the real numbers, I feel like that's what they doing. They not reporting the numbers. Because you don't hear about the numbers all the time. See, if you don't hear about it, you don't think about it. You don't know what actually what's going on. So I still say defund the police, arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor, and hold the cops accountable. But let's go on down south a little bit. Congress, Congress, they stepping up.
Yeah.
They're saying
They're
they're
starting
gonna,
to investigate Fort Hood soldier deaths.
and they should. Somebody should. It's too many young soldiers that lost their life, and we don't know why.
Yeah, they were saying that in a letter that was presented to them, they noted 129 felonies committed, which included cases from homicide, sexual assault, kidnapping, robbery, aggravated assault on that base. Between and this is every year between the 2014 to 2019. So every year there's about 129 felonies being committed on that base. And then they said during an August investigation, Fort Hood had the highest and the most cases for sexual assault and harassment and murder for the entire formation of the United States Army. Like, what is going on?
One is too many.
What's that?
Said one is too many.
Right, but it's like it's ridiculous. Like you beat out the whole military formation just at your base. Like you can only keep something under the rug for so long. Like these bodies piling up were noticeable, and people were missing them, and it's coincidental that they all had some sort of harassment or sexual assault complaint. It's like it just makes you wonder. But and the letter was sent to the Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy, who stated, who produced those stats. So Congress is now intervening, and they're launching an investigation for all the disappearances and all that stuff. And so it's like a subcommittee that's being created. So the Congress, in conjunction with the military forces, with whoever investigates those cases on military bases, they're going to join forces to determine if this is a symptomatic or underlying leadership issue or some deficiencies throughout the command. So they got to figure out where things are going wrong and why so many incidences are being discovered.
Well, that's one reason why the general who's supposed to have been getting a promotion, they put a stop to it, which they should have. If you having those type of numbers, why are you getting awarded for those type of numbers? And sadly, those numbers probably was high
Yeah,
before he
and this is
got
just,
there.
yeah, and this is just what we know
Yeah.
about.
And if it wasn't for Vanessa, oh, I forgot her last
Gilliam.
Gilliam, if it wasn't for her family bringing this to the spotlight, we wouldn't know about all of these. So I'm glad that the family took a stand and brought this to the spotlight. And
And they
unfortunately,
have to fight to get that information, though. That's the crazy thing. You have to fight with the
exactly.
military to get medical records, to get all the reports you needed because of all the red tape you got to go through. And I'm sure even the information they got had, had edits, you
Yeah.
know.
And unfortunately, a lot of these soldiers that we heard about over the last couple of months have all been Hispanics, young Hispanics that have filed some type of complaint and they end up dead. Enough is enough. Like I said, I'm diverse. Wrong is wrong, right is right. That's the way I look at it. I don't care what color you are. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. And we have to take a stand. Yeah, that general should not have been rewarded uh, for leading this place like this. Because the thing is, if I'm sure he know everything that goes on there, and it's about time for him to retire because he can't lead. He's not a good leader.
Right.
Just like
He's just
Trump,
ignoring things.
not a
It
good
seems like he's
leader.
just ignoring things and hoping things will go away, but they're compiling. And it's like, who would want to be stationed there? Like, those are some pretty astounding stats for just that
Exactly.
base. And then it's like, what's going on in other locations?
Yeah, that's just
That's just here.
at that base. So I'm like, hey, he don't need to lead no more. He need to go ahead and retire, step down, because the only thing you've been doing anyway, collecting a check. So go ahead and retire. Why not? You weren't doing anything in the first place. Because if you were, we wouldn't have all these numbers coming out. So I'm all about doing what's right. Um, we hit on a lot. Was it any other stories you want to talk about, or did you want to
No, I
give?
think that was it. You want to try to give away the shirt again? See if
We
anybody was listening to anything.
we could give it away because actually, I've actually, if they've been watching the show, I've actually given out hints since last Thursday. I did it on Sunday show, Tuesday show, uh, and if you paid attention, hey, it should be pretty easy. We've been trying to give it away. What? Uh, this the third week,
Yeah, I think that's the third week.
so um, I'm
It's
gonna let you
like teachers in schools, like y'all ain't paying attention.
exactly. You want to do the same question, or you want to do something different?
Let's see if we get anything for this question or the same question, and then if not, we'll just throw in like a square root of something. You don't want me to give it. No, I'm just. We'll never give it away. Get those calculators.
Okay. What the question is? Let's go to the same question.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a two-part question. How did we meet? And what have she inspired me to do? put it in the chat, and you will be the winner of a shirt. Now you can see the
A quite
shirt.
lovely shirt.
Yes, it is.
Says
We both
dirty.
have it on, and we also been having it displayed on the screen all night. So you can
Very
actually
lovely.
right up above risky, so you can actually see the shirt. Other than that, it's $25, and you can order your shirts. Just hit me.
Oh, did
Uh,
you give out a number, or have we stopped with the numbers?
no, you want to have the person call in.
Yeah,
Um,
was there time for them to call in?
it's
Anybody
up to
know?
you. We can either have them call in or put it in the chat. Either way.
Yeah, yeah. Put it in the chat. If you still know the number, call in.
Okay, if
We're
you
waiting.
want, all right, they're the number. So uh, if you know the answer, definitely call in, or you can put it in the chat. The question again is, how did we meet, and what have she inspired me to do? So that's the question, and you can either put it in the chat or call in, either one of them, and we'll go from there. Now we're not going to be here all night, so
Yes.
um, but I'm going to highlight the stories we went over tonight.
Yeah.
The
Or
NFL.
maybe a sub question. What is the name of the trial drug vaccine?
Hell, I don't even know. The Trump vaccine. Um, it's hydro something. I don't know. Um,
No, that's the stuff that he said he was taking. Look at that. You wouldn't get a shirt at all. See, this is
yeah,
why I shouldn't come up with the questions. Nobody would have anything.
I bet you. Now this is not the question, but I asked what is Trump nickname? They'll know. No, don't even say it. I see it on your face. Don't.
I didn't say nothing.
Now I'm talking about what you was getting ready to say. How
I
you start the show off?
not. I didn't. Say
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
that was because I saw it in the chats and it stuck in my head. I'm like Rain Man. It gets stuck in my head, and I was like, and I put the hot in front of it, so I embellished. It just said wheels, and I put Hot Wheels because in my head I pictured flames coming out, and here like when you
I'm not going there with
you're
you.
going there with me.
I'm not
That's
going there.
in my world. It's fun there.
So
Anybody make a comment?
not
Nobody?
yet. I'm gonna bring up one other subject before we leave. I forgot about it. I should have
Okay.
mentioned it to you. Someone asked me, how did I feel about I'm gonna say Shelly Garrett. Uh uh what's the lady name? The bar owner, the salon owner. I
Uh,
forgot. We don't even have to say her name. But um
the Karen that took it all the way to Congress or the governor.
yeah, I said it said a long time ago, the one who Greg Abbott changed his executive order for. Um, someone asked me today, how did I feel about it? And I told him, I said, hey, I feel like it was gonna happen because of what she did. She was wrong for what she did and should have been held accountable for it. But at the same time, when you have a leader, a so-called leader trying to lead, but only leading for certain type of folks, just like Trump is doing, she's going to use that to her advantage. Do I like it? Nope. I seen some of the stuff she did, and I don't agree with it at all. So um So how I feel about it, she took the opportunity. She's running. They having a special election. I believe it's coming up in a couple of weeks or something. I think it's a special election coming up that she's running for. And unfortunately, that's why we need to get out and vote. Because if she did what she did to get in that position, just imagine if she get a title behind her name. Um, so we definitely um, need to. She's a candidate for the Senate District 30 here in Texas. Um, so we need to make sure she don't get in there because she violated the executive order to become famous. But we also need to show up at the poll to make sure she don't get in there. Because if it wasn't for her violating that order, we wouldn't even know who she was. And that's my opinion. I'm just saying you can't do wrong and want right to come out of it. So I'm like, hey, she don't need to be in there. And I believe it's the Wichita Falls. So I'm take the poll to elect new Texas State District 30. Oh wow! And um, Greg Abbott prompting a special election for her. So it's 6 candidates, and we need to make sure she's not one of them. Um, so we need to make sure we vote. Make sure she don't get out. Get out and vote November the 3rd. Early vote. Your job cannot prevent you from voting, which I know the NBA is taking a stand. They're giving all their employees the day off to be able to go vote. So that's what we need to do. Um, we don't need leaders like that. 46 minus 1 showed us enough. So we need to go out and vote, get his ass out of office, and keep the rest of them out. So we didn't give out the shirt tonight. So
Nobody saying anything.
um,
No comments, no calls.
so I'm gonna just say that's that last shirt we trying to give out. We're not gonna do it no more. Trying to be a blessing to somebody, we're not gonna do it. That's fine. But Miss Risky,
We tried.
exactly. Tell the people where they can find you. Have you been? What you been doing lately? I know you sent me
Working,
a
saving
text.
for the man.
Well, you sent me a text earlier this week, and
I actually got some notes down. I've got a middle and an end to my story. My little notes, that's what I take at work when
yeah,
I'm supposed to be working. So I figured it out. I'm putting it together. I figured out a way to do some stuff. Um, but yeah, it's coming along. I'm getting there. So I need to research some things because I want to parallel some of the events. Oh, I think, no, wait, not here. Somebody commented in my personal box.
they ain't got nothing to do with us.
Hold on.
You done gave
Hold
out too
on.
many clues now.
I know. Hold on, let me direct some patrons. So, I just happened to look down and I had a message. I was like, not me.
No, you need to put it in the chat. Um, we don't know if you're watching the show.
Right.
Um, so you've been
So
taking notes.
yeah, taking notes because I was trying to figure out how to make it seem like realistic, and so I'm going to try to parallel it to some things like the civil rights movement Tight. And it's not like a race war type thing. It's just like it's just like a supernatural a story, and I wanted to kind of parallel some of the events and things and laws and use that towards my character and what they're experiencing as a group of supernatural beings. And so I have it broken down in stages, and I have an end. So I was like, I figured it out. So that's what I was missing. Like I was going nowhere with what I was starting with, and I kept starting over because I didn't know how to put it together.
Okay. Um, so you started back staying focused because
Hmm.
I know you said at one point it was hard for you to stay focused to write.
Right. It's
Um,
still hard to focus because people keep sending me things on Netflix and Hulu to watch. Somebody told me to watch. I don't think it was the Browns. It was something. Probably Tyler Perry. I don't know. And it'll take me a minute to get through there. And I've just been all over the place. Like it's ridiculous. But I'm getting focused. I'm getting on it.
I need to start back writing myself. So I need to get focused and finish up the second book I'm writing. Um, we say all the time on the show if we have agents, booking agents on the show, please reach out to us. Um, we want to go through an agent because I feel like our stories are good enough where, yeah, hell, we could be on uh, New York bestseller list. So definitely, let's make it happen. And if you are a artist, um, and you have some material you want us to highlight, reach out to us. Let's make it happen. Um, we do support our local artists as well as our nationwide artists. Um, so where can they find you at, Miss Risky?
I can be found at RSKEE on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I mainly use Instagram. I also have a webpage where you can purchase the books, uh, riskybooks.com. You listening to the car horn?
Yeah, I'm like, what the?
I don't know. I got some hood neighbors now. I don't know what's going on. Babies be crying and screaming. I don't know whether to call 911 or give the kid a candy. I have no idea.
Well, I know you said a couple of months ago somebody left a pamper and
Yeah,
some soap on the
yeah,
porch
some
for them.
baby laundry detergent. So clearly the kid had a blowout. And I think it's a situation where the father lives in these apartments because I saw the mother coming up and she was standing at the door. The door was wide open. I think they were doing a kid exchange and her man was in the SUV with the door open just in case things pop off. Car was still, going, waiting
Mm,
for him, like say one word, I'm getting out this car right now, type of situation. And I was
yeah,
just like, wow, these are my neighbors right here.
and we're also um, I talked with Miss one of the counselors this week, and we're trying to get a counselor back on the show in a couple of weeks. Um, a lot of people been asking questions about that last show we had with the counselor, uh, dealing with malicious parent syndrome. So I think we're gonna bring that back in a couple of weeks and hit on it again, so we can definitely get to the point. But so the answers to the question was, as you can see, Miss Risky is a writer. She inspired me to write, and how we met playing poker. So that was the answer. If we talk about it every week, um, I even mentioned on the show Tuesday that she reached out to me and said she'd been writing, staying focused on writing. So that's a good thing. Um, So definitely, if you have any type of artist, or if you have a special skill, if you are a licensed counselor and would love to be on the show to be able to provide counseling for people, reach out to me. You can actually reach me at it's best to do it by email. Um, who you with kirkdog at mail.com. It's right on the string. So definitely reach out to me if you wanna, if you are a licensed, keyword licensed counselor. Definitely reach out to me. We can make it happen. I really want to be able to do a show every week with counselors on, because right now it's a stressful time. You got kids going back to the schools in a pandemic. You have um, people being forced to go back to work in a pandemic. Um, People are concerned about their kids. People are concerned about their spouse. They have to go back to work. Um, we don't know when this pandemic is going to end, because our so-called leader didn't take it serious enough. And he finally admitted he should have taken it serious. He didn't want to cause panic. But you didn't cause panic, but you caused a lot of other stuff for not standing up for what's right. So we definitely want to get counselors on to be
She
able to.
actually, somebody actually posted on the, I don't know, can you see that?
On what?
Or is she on my page?
I have no idea.
No idea. She's on Facebook. But I told her it's too late now. He already gave the answer.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell them look up above your head. They $25.
right.
um, yeah. If they, unfortunately, they need to
Yeah.
be on
Yeah.
my page in
Yeah,
order
that's
for
what I
them to
told
see
him.
it. So we
I'll explain how technology works with the older listeners and viewers.
we might come back. Might do it again uh, next week to try to get one out, but a different question, because I gave the answer. Hell, I don't
Yeah.
know. I might
No,
ask the same question, because if they paying attention,
yeah.
they may or may not know the answer. So I don't
So you
know.
got the answers to a quiz, pop quiz next
It's
week,
open book quiz.
right?
So no, but it's definitely um, please be safe out there. Take this serious. And it was something I thought about earlier, and let me see if I could come up with it, because it was dealing with this Greg Abbott thing. Oh, I know what it was, and I was going to tell you. I don't know if you have some history facts for today, but why
I
you
mean, I
getting it?
could. I was having like an online argument with somebody said, "Watch it, stop talking about us old folks." So they're watching it from my page, but not your page, and that's
Oh,
like, so they're a
um,
little confused on what they need to do.
all right. Why you getting the Black History fact?
I can.
And
Let's
I'm gonna
see.
actually bring up one more thing before we get out of here. Now
Let's see
I'm
what
gonna
I
go
haven't
back.
talked about.
I'm gonna go back to Greg Abbott real quick. You know, Greg, um, you stepped in with when the teacher in Wiley, and you asked for that teacher to be fired for making a giving a homework assignment. I must be hungry. I said a sandwich.
Yeah.
A homework assignment showing the history of America. Well, you wanted to step in with that. Why don't you step in and allow the real history of America be taught in schools? Because people need to know the 400 years of slavery that the black community have gone through. They need to know why Black Wall Street was burnt down, bombed. They need to know about the riots in Florida, North Carolina, Chicago. So people need to know this history. They need to know the true history of America. So while you talking about fire this teacher for teaching history, why don't you take a stand on that and take a stand on holding these officers accountable when they do um, crimes as for shooting unarmed black and brown people? Let's take a stand on that. And if you really want to do a pledge, put it on the ballots where the the community can make a decision if we should or shouldn't defund the police. Do it like that. Don't just put it out there asking people to sign this pledge. Put it on the ballots where we can vote on it. And from that point, we make the decision. You trying to take over Austin? No. Put it on the ballot. Put it on the ballot for the people can decide. You just cannot let one type of person to decide on if we're gonna defund the police and making threats of defunding, uh, uh, taking money from these cities. The cities are recognizing it's a problem. So why don't you get on board? But let's
Yeah,
go
somebody
ahead.
posted on my page, Greg Abbott needs to go. He cares more about Trump than his constituents.
Exactly. He
But
only
again,
cares.
I'm trying to get them
He
to
only
post it
cares.
on your page.
He only cares about one particular group of people. I told y'all, and I said all the time that with Greg Abbott, he need to go. When he changed this executive order, I didn't like him in the first place, to be honest with you, and I sure don't like him now. So he need to go. He have to go. Him and Paxton and I don't know why the Three Stooges. They all need to go, including Ted Cruz. And if it's a way they could block Trump from letting Ted Cruz to get into the Supreme Court, he don't need to be up there. He don't. So, but go ahead with your history before we go.
All right, so this is after the Tulsa massacre of 1921, and it's similar. This takes place in Rosewood, Florida.
Oh Lord.
I'm sure you've seen the movie. There is a movie called Rosewood. Talks
Ooh.
about the same situation. So, a black community was basically burned to the ground after a white woman. We're gonna
Lie.
call her the 1923 Karen. Karen from 1923 accused. Her name was Fannie Taylor. She claimed she was assaulted by a black man, and this took place. The accusation took place January 1st of 23. Um, so the first person that was killed was a blacksmith, named Sam Carter. He was tortured, he was mutilated, and even hung from a tree. And I want to say up to 150 black people were killed just because she made an accusation on a black person who assaulted her. Like, she gave no description, so they just went around killing every black man they came across after Rosewood was destroyed. So there's some good. Well, still bad, but um, I want to say they they took it to a grand jury, the incident after this, and a special prosecutor decided there. Oh, so now this isn't good. This is another story. Sorry, getting my stories mixed up. So they a special prosecutor decided there was not enough evidence for prosecution of the white men who pretty much killed every innocent American citizen who was black. But in 1977, it was brought 1997. The late John Singleton made a film, Rosewood, bringing this to light, highlighting Ving Rhames um, and this massacre that took place. I got the story switched because I was like, oh, but yeah. So yeah, they pretty much like cleared out a booming town. You know, it's like another Black Wall Street. They were booming, and it's like every time like a or a group of people of color come together, create their own economy, their own society, and start doing for themselves. Here comes somebody to come into town, making up rumors to carry a call and say some black man, you know, accosted me or assaulted me, and town is destroyed. And now we can't have anything. And even like today, people are still reporting, falsely accusing black people of committing crimes. Like we like instead of back in the day how kids were like, oh, the devil made me do it. Oh, the black man did it. So that's what that's been replaced by. We're the boogeyman. Like you get in the elevator with a black person, you clutch your purse. You know, it's like I just wish that like we just need to change the narrative. We need to put more positive films out with how our lives are not, you know, that we're not all gangsters, hookers, you know, selling crack or in jail. We're educated. We can create and open up businesses, and we have families. You know, we have two-parent households. We're not all from broken homes. So it's like we need to change the narrative on how black people are being viewed in the world, pretty much. You
Mm.
know, and even if we have to do it by way of having more superheroes, like you know, Black Panther, um, then so be it. Let's create some more black positive images.
Ah, I, we we
Mm.
got to start discussing these stories before we do it. No, because Rosewood,
That was tragic. Well, they're all tragic, but I think
but to see
most of
it,
yeah, we were. I think that one hit close because we actually got to see it play out.
well, I I I I was looking at a press conference yesterday from Dominique Alexandre, I believe. He's active here in Dallas, and while I'm reading the story of Rosewood, they talked about a mob between 200 and 300 people. Some came from out of state. And when I
Hmm.
read some came from out of state, I thought about this press conference with Dominique I've heard on yesterday. Um, he got arrested over the weekend over um, a protest. Now, what happened is, and I didn't realize till I heard the news conference yesterday, this particular group who is not from Texas, not from Dallas, came to counter protest. Well, they supposed to been having a permit. They didn't have one because they don't give out permits um for he said for some reason they don't give out permits. But he was asking them who about their permits and stuff like that, and they hired security. Which I understand the brother was getting paid to do a job. I understand that. But the problem is Dominique was assaulted. One young lady was pushed down. Now, this group that came to town, and I didn't realize this at first. I didn't know they wasn't from here. So when I'm reading about Rosewood and they say some came from out of state, made me think about it. Now, the problem is you have one guy spraying a bear mace, and they say that's one of the worst mace you can ever spray. The bear mace, spraying people with it, and they saying that if you was one of those people sprayed, you need to file a report because that's an assault. Then there was another person. He don't look like me, but he did pull out a pistol And they saying, well, he didn't point it at nobody. But here it is, you at a protest. You go and pull your gun out. Dominique is on the ground, and you pointing the gun toward his way. See, that's why things need to change. Now, I know in the interview that Dominique done, he also mentioned about certain people within the Dallas Police Department, the intelligence department, supposed to have been uh, they didn't pay attention to none of this. So basically, Dominique was arrested. He was arrested on old traffic tickets that he've already served his time for several years ago, and allegedly Dallas police been sued because he got arrested several years back over the same tickets. But Dominique also mentioned that he was held for 8 hours while they questioned him. But these same folks who's not from the city of Dallas that have sprayed citizens of Dallas, including kids, with bear spray, one who pulled the gun, they walked into the police station. No handcuffs, no nothing. No charges filed. And they was able to walk out of there. So you talking about why we say Black Lives Matter? Why we say defund the police? We did a show last month, I believe, Black and White Justice. So we definitely need to take a stand, make sure it's equal justice for everyone. I'm tired. Greg Abbott, you're on a countdown. When your election come around, you have to go. We're gonna vote you out. We're gonna vote you out. We're also going to Ken Patson. We still waiting for him to go to court. Been 5 years. He been fighting these charges. Well, he ain't even fighting him. Changing courts for 5 years. How much money are we spending for this man to keep having judges to read over a case and he's still not going? He committed fraud. He should have been in court a long time ago. We're tired of it. We're tired. So you want to go ahead and just stick with certain people, that's going to cause you to end your career because you have to go. And I didn't forget about the lieutenant governor. He got to go too. He have to go. They all need to go. Dan Patrick, Greg Abbott, and I can never think of all three of them. It seems like I get sleepy when I think about the three of them. I just think of the Three Stooges. I don't know, but they all need to go. That's where we are today. It's time for them to pack their bags and get out. We need a vote, not just for the presidential election, but we also need a vote for the local election. That's where our laws are made. Let's get them out. They gotta go. That's all to it. It's time for them to go. But hey, we're here on Sunday, Mondays, Tuesday, and Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. If you have a show you want us to speak on, um, send me an email. I'm on social media all the time. I have people send me different stories all the time. Feel free to reach out to me. You see me online, hit me up. I will communicate with you. But long as it's serious, it's don't come to me and talk about uh why you well, racist stuff. I'm not gonna fool with. So, um, but definitely, if you want to have a dialogue, we can have a dialogue. I'm all open for it. So, um, Miss Risky,
Mm-hmm.
it's been wonderful. Anything else on your mind? Because I'm just
Oh, that's
like
it.
right now. I'm like, oh yeah, Rosewood. Rosewood to me, when I watch Rosewood, it made me think about watching Roots back in the days. Then you have to go to school the next day. Cause Roots stayed on for the whole week.
Yeah, it was a family event.
Rosewood was 2.5, maybe 2 hours, 45 minutes, maybe. But it's a good educated movie to show you what some of our ancestors have gone through.
And
And
keep going through. And then people will say, well, slavery was in the past. This was in the past. These occurrences keep happening. So clearly,
exactly.
nobody learned from what happened in the past because people keep putting it down and like, oh no, we don't want to hear about it. That's why, like you say, we keep bringing up Black Lives Matter because people are acting like we're disposable, like we're just nothing. We're still animals. Like people look at us like this foreign entity, and we need to stop that. Like we're human, we're citizens, and we should be respected.
And it showed tonight with the start of the NFL when they asked the people to have a moment of silence, and you start hearing boos. NFL, y'all need to stand up. Y'all need to take a stand and make sure. Um, I forgot the guy name. Was it Breland Speaks, number 57 for Kansas? Um, I appreciate that, brother. I'm gonna look and see if I can get his jersey because I will wear that jersey because he took a stand. Um, so I'm gonna see if I can find his jersey and get it. Because I will support people that that is not afraid to take a stand. So, but until next Thursday, um, well, no, I'll be back Sunday.
You forgot when you were on your own show?
Hey, yeah, our days run together, but next Thursday, Miss Risky should be back if the good Lord
Like,
say the
you
same.
should be back. I'll
If the
think about it.
good Lord say the same, she will be back. We appreciate it. Um, until then, love each and every one of you. If you're interested in a shirt, um, send me a message. We'll get it out to you. $25 each. Doesn't matter the size. They all 25 each, and they also um 25 each, and we'll get it out to you. Um, so just reach out to me, and we'll go from there. So until that, I need to read this.
No, not on the thing.
Okay,
It's just like,
okay.
that's just,
See, I didn't know. That's why I started looking. I'm like, all right, I didn't want to
you
close
never
it
know.
out.
It's like we're supposed to be ending. It's not ending.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, until next week, we love each and every one of you. We appreciate you um for actually taking the time out and watching the show. Please continue to tell a friend, share it, whenever we come on, hit the notification. We love each and every one of you. Until Sunday, peace.